Hello there. Hi. If you are teaching pre-entry using this book, perhaps, or even if you're not, this video, this playlist can help you cut your prep time, help your students, and simplify your life. That's what it does for me. So in the playlist, I'm using a sample unit from the book, and day by day, I'm going to show what I do with the book with my students. Okay, and I have prepared, one second. So this is day two. Okay. Okay, so day two we have, and as I explained in the day one video, yeah, it's a day by day guide and it's based on Unit 6. You can download this as a sample unit from the website, easelbooks.com. This is day two. So the aims for day two, we're going to revise the text. There's revision, reading revision using the text that the students read on day one. The main aim today is writing, okay? There's also more vocabulary and vocabulary revision, okay? So we learned, the students learned these words on day one, okay? So play a game, Kim's game. If you don't know Kim's game, I'll quickly run through it, but it's basically a memory game. If you Google it, you'll find exactly how to play it. But we have slides you can download from the extra materials if you go to the website, and there's a slide there for Kim's game. So it's a memory game, yeah. So you can show the pictures on the screen. Students learn them on day one. Can the students remember the words? Do that in the words. Do that in pairs. Then you say to them, you have 1 minute. Look at these words. Remember all of them. And my students like to remember even the order. Number one, T. That seems to work quite well. 1 minute, remember the words. After 1 minute, you remove the words. So minimize the screen or the window or whatever you want, however you want to do it. Remove the words, and in pairs they tell each other and they try to remember all the words. Nominate a student to say the words after that. Then in Kim's game, there's further sort of part of the game is you can remove one or two pictures, and this is all in the PowerPoint slides. So then you say to them, ah, look, now we only have maybe 8 pictures here, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which picture have we taken away? Which one? I think it might be chocolate. So yeah, no chocolate. And they just shout out the answer. It's good fun. There are 5 or 6 more slides like that. So it's a nice bit of vocabulary revision. It's kind of a warmer to start the class. I then check homework and get the students into pairs. This is the homework we gave them on day one. Get them into pairs and check their answers, same or different. Do you have the same or different answer as your partner? And um, check in pairs. Quite often, I just whiz round. It depends how many students you have. I quite often whiz round and tick the pages. And if they've got, if there's a page with a couple of mistakes, I might encourage some self-correction. The main aim for me is I want to see that they have done the homework. Okay. So they quite like me ticking the page. They seem to quite enjoy that. Dopamine, perhaps. I don't know. Um, if there's sometimes I do an open class, whole class feedback as well. Sometimes, quite often, I just run around and tick the pages because quite often a lot of these tasks are not designed to be that difficult. It's just to get to consolidate the language, really. So yeah, as I said, check in pairs from the workbook. We gave them the spelling words as well. So I also have a look at their notebooks. Um have they done the look, say, cover, right check on the 10 words? There's a further step you can do with the spelling words, but I'm going to make another video for that because that's going to take a bit of explanation. But you can, um, I'll just mention it very briefly here. You can have them test each other in pairs on the words. One says a word, the other writes it down. You could do a whole class little dictation saying the words and they write them down. Weaker students can just write the first letter if they like, or they can do it in pairs. So there's quite a lot you can do with that. Open class feedback, question mark, as I said, it's up to you. Right, then I like to do some reading revision. So I remind students, what can you remember about Fatana? And they can tell you, oh, she is from Afghanistan, she likes kabuli rice. And then just do some reading revision. So you could read it again as a whole class, put the text on the screen, read it all again. Definitely get them in pairs to read it again, okay? And this is a great task, I think, because they spent quite a long time on day one reading that text. It's a nice revision task. Consolidate. They can see, have they retained this, the English here? Can they remember? Can they read it aloud again? So it's a nice task, I think. As I said, whole group, paired reading. Right. So the main aim is writing, but to get them into the writing, some speaking. And we could do this as small groups, or we could do a little mingle. And the task for the just give them a simple question, and it's the same question that they're going to answer for the writing, but they're going to do it orally first. And the idea here is they get the language in the oral form. They're usually better at speaking than writing. Get it in the oral form, and then they can write it. So, which simple question, yeah? Which food do you like? Do some pronunciation drills. I like chicken. I like rice. Maybe ask them in your country which food. In Sudan, asida, shawarma, I don't know. And you can drill that as well. So you give them a phrase, I like chicken, everyone together and repeat. Help them with some pronunciation. Get them into small groups or do a mingle if you like. They tell each other. Okay. That sets up the writing for this question. It's not easy. Imagine you were doing this in Arabic. Not easy at all. So we need to build up or scaffold. And the book includes tasks for this. So there's a sort of reordering task here where they reorder the jumbled sentence using some language. There's a writing frame for this where they complete the sentence. Ultimately, I want to get them writing after this controlled practice, a more sort of free practice writing. Obviously very difficult. So further build up here is look, say, cover, write, check. And I've used words here that I think are going to be useful when they do the writing. Okay. So we want them writing, I am from, I like, I love, I don't like. So there's some practice there with look, say, cover, write, check. So they're not going in cold to the writing. They've had a lot of build up. Look, say, cover, write, check. And that's the task. Okay. But give them a model first and choose a student and I don't know, Mustafa, what do you like? And board a model, write it down on the board. My name is Mustafa. I am from Sudan. I like chicken and rice. I like asida. I don't like fish. And that's on the board. And say to the students, everyone can write like this, but don't copy. Okay? So we remove the model. You've just shown the model just to make it clear the instructions. Remove the model from the board and then they're going to write, but give them a safety net, okay? You can say to them, oh, maybe you forget the word chicken. You can open the book and find chicken, okay? Don't copy it. Look at the word in the book, memorize it, then close the book and then write it. And I let them do that as many times as they like. And they can use their jotters if they've got some words in their jotters as well. But again, don't copy, close the book. And a lot of the students in my class, they take it as a challenge. They try to write this paragraph without copying, and they're very proud if they can do that. It's a great feeling for them. But if you need to open the book, have a quick look, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Again, imagine it was Arabic. You would like that safety net, I think. I think I would. Okay, then after the writing, self-correction. Have a look at the student's work, monitor. Maybe praise them. Oh, very good spelling here. Look, very good spelling, Shazia. But there are some spelling mistake. There are some mistakes with no full stops, punctuation. Yeah, can you add full stops? Get them to improve it. Maybe underline a few spelling mistakes. Perhaps they haven't written on the line. So lots of different types of writing mistakes we can help them with. Then make the most of this writing. You've done a lot of work to get them to this stage. Read it aloud in pairs. Read your text aloud. Then we can also do look, say, cover, write, check. We did that on single words. We can do that for a whole paragraph. But again, you need to model it sentence by sentence. Yeah. Look at your writing. My name is Mustafa. Then cover the text, the whole text, and write it again. Okay. And they do that sentence by sentence and do the whole thing. And that's a nice homework task as well. That's quite a lot of the class, and I've run through it very quickly, but that takes quite a while, what I've just described. If there's time, there's a vocabulary task in the book which you can start on day 2 and then um, revise it and finish it on day 3, which I think is quite nice. And it's nice to have something up your sleeve just in case you run out of time, just in case, sorry, that you have extra time for another task. Okay. And this vocabulary task is about learning the words fruit, vegetables, meat. Okay. So if there's time, just show them this slide. And again, this is in the extra materials. Show them this PowerPoint slide. The students identify the words in pairs, do some feedback, and then you ask them which ones are vegetables, which ones are fruits, which one meat. Okay. And they do that in pairs, sort of test them. Can they do that? Clarify that whole class. Okay. Help them with the pronunciation. Vegetables, pretty tricky. Okay. And then that should be enough. If there's time for that, good. Do that for day 2. We'll revise that on day 3, which will obviously be another video. Okay. Finish the class with some homework. And as I said on day 1, record a video. Okay. Add it to a Teams group. So anything, if you've got the workbook here, find a good page here. For example, this letter gap feels quite nice. Also, because we did some writing, look, say, cover, write, check on that text is a good idea. I haven't mentioned it here, I think, but we could do, I have more spelling words. Give them another 10 spelling words to do for homework. It's always good. Try and do that every day. And give them a video from the YouTube channel. So there's one here going, oops, sorry. This one's looking at the vocabulary they learned. Okay, send them a link on the Teams group. Okay, that is all for day 2. That should be enough. And what I'm trying to do with this playlist is show you that quite a lot of the work in the students' book, especially, you can do, for example, read a text on one day, read it again. There's a lot of revision to add. So if you revise a lot of the work in this book, you can really make the most of all the pages that you have on offer. Okay, I've got a train to catch, but thanks for watching the video. There will be more videos to come as soon as I can get them recorded and loaded up onto YouTube. Okay, thanks for watching and see you in another video. Thank you. Bye bye.